First pitch softly hit in the infield. And the catcher, Colin Vandergraden, pulls off the first baseman, Brian Corbett, and the leadoff runner is on. Scorer now in the corner so you can see what's actually happening. Andrew Capone out at first after that infield single. And Sean Hannibal, the shortstop, is at the plate. One and 0 in for a strike. On the mound today for the Blue Devils, Alec Wichikowski. That pitch in there for a strike, 1-2. Alec, a sophomore out of Toledo, Ohio. His fastball has the velocity, it can get into the upper 80s. And this is a grounder hit to second. Nick Allen to second for one. To first, the relay in time, a double play. Nice 4-6-3 double play turned by the Blue Devils here. And we are back on track and 2 down. Brings up the catcher, Daniel Carr. And Daniel caught the first game as well, so interesting thing. Daniel going to catch both games here today. Typically, you don't see that too often. I assume he's going to get a nice, well-deserved break tomorrow. This one, a high fly ball hit into left center field. Dobkowski racing back, camps under it to put it away. So a quick first inning for Wichikowski. We'll head to the bottom of the first. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Eddie Dobkowski will lead off for the Blue Devils here in Game 2, as he did in Game 1. Went hitless in Game 1. But smacks a ground ball back to the pitcher. And for the first out, that's a nice segue there. The pitcher on the mound for the Wolverines is John Dida. John comes into today with a 7.63 ERA, 0-4 on the season, 11 games started. But gets the first out rather quickly. Now up is the shortstop, Harry Storch. One of the best two-way players on this team for sure. Takes a pitch on the outer edge. Strike one. 1-1 to Storch. 1 out. And Storch hits a soft ground ball to the shortstop, Sean Hannibal. And Sean makes the nice throw over to put away the second out of the inning. Sean Fannin will attempt to change things up a little bit after a couple quick ground outs. Sean batting .369 for today. Swings and misses at the first pitch, actually fouled it. If you missed it last game, the Blue Devils won with a walk-off 2-out, 2 RBI single from Eddie Dobkowski. I mentioned he went hitless in the last game. I forgot. He obviously did not go hitless. Had the most important hit of the game. That pitch misses low, 1-2. I was so excited during the walk-off, I just forgot to put it on my scorecard. Fannin checks swings at a breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2. It's an interesting last inning. The Blue Devils had a chance to tie it as Fannin pops one up, and this is going to get back in the seats. Fannin had a chance, or not Fannin. The Blue Devils had a chance to tie it up on a Cadman single, and Max Morian, the pinch runner, came all the way around from second and was tagged out at the plate. As Fannin hits a soft grounder to the pitcher, knocks it off his glove, and there's going to be no play. Fannin is going to beat that one out. Anyways, with 2 outs and a runner on first, Cadman was able to advance to second. And then Lambert, he was able to advance to third off a Lambert single. And then obviously Dobkowski was able to drive both of them in to win Game 1, 6-5. So now Brian Corbett will step in. Takes a first pitch strike. Corbett, one of the most improved offensive players on this team thus far this year. He reached base 3 times last game, a couple walks and a hit by pitch. This one fouled back to the screen. So down 0-2. And we got a balk on the pitcher, John Dida. So still 0-2 to Brian Corbett. We'll see if he can do something and make him pay for that balk here with Fannin out at second. Hits a chopper down to third. Goes through both the shortstop and the third baseman. Fannin rounding third, and he will score. So nice job of putting the ball in play good things happen for Sean Fannin and Brian Corbett. Blue Devils on the board first, 1-0. That's taking advantage of those opportunities. That's what Coach Eldridge likes to see. And as Fannin rounded third on that one, he actually rounded it so hard that he almost ran into his third base coach, Eldridge, while going home. (1-0). Now make it 2-0. This is Jackson Wakowiak, the left fielder today. Jackson also reached base 3 times, just like Corbett. The exact same ways, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Here's the 2-0 from Dida. Swing and a miss at 82 miles an hour, 2-1. And getting the call on deck is number 28, Luke Lambert. After he singled to keep things going in the last game, being rewarded with a start this game. He will play in the DH spot. Tyler Childs will follow, Vandergarden and Nick Allen in the 9-hole. Here's the 3-1. This one, a grounder to second. Jacob Lyha there to make the play. So the Blue Devils get a 2-out single and then single to bring in Fannin, and they now lead 1-0 here in the first inning. We'll head to the top of the second. This is the home for Lawrence Tech Baseball. First pitch from Wichurkowski in for a strike to the third baseman, Antonio Carta. That pitch just misses, 1-1. Carta, the third baseman, playing at third once again, as he did last game. Had a couple singles last game and a sac fly, also with a run scored. Carta is a .301 hitter overall this season. Swings and misses there. Strike 3. So Carta goes down swinging. And Wichurkowski picking up where he left off back in the first. Faced the minimum through 4 batters. And now Ryan Beadle, the DH, once again will hit. Fouled away. Wichurkowski, one of those guys with the competitive mental state, thinks he can pitch against anybody and any team, even in the MLB, and he's got unlimited potential. And every day he works, Coach Eldridge wanted to add. He's got a slider and a changeup that have been improved over the past season. As Beetle check swing fouls one off there. 0-2. The 0-2 now to Beetle. Misses outside, 1-2. Blue Devils lead 1-0 here after scoring a run back in the bottom of the first. Single from Sean Fannin and a single from Brian Corbett. Brought in Sean Fannin. This one driven out to left center field, but Jackson Wakowiak was in the right spot, only had to take a few steps to his left to put the second out of the inning away. Bring up the first baseman, Justin Dolney. Justin also played in the sixth spot at first base last game. Had a couple singles, went 2 for 5, didn't score any runs. First pitch swung on and missed. Colin Vandergraden getting the call behind the plate today. We were wondering if it'd be Max Mooring maybe, but Vandergraden is going to call the pitches for Wachorkowski today, and he's done a pretty solid job, I would say, through a pretty early 2 innings, but strike 2 there. Colin was regarded as one of the bigger surprises on this team. They signed him pretty late. It was probably a month before school had started. And this one has popped up out into right field. It looks like Sean Fannin will call off the second baseman, Nick Allen, to put it away. So Wachorkowski faces the minimum through 2. Blue Devils lead 1-0. We'll head to the bottom of the second. This is the home for Blue Devil baseball. First pitch to Luke Lambert hits the outer part of the plate, strike 1. Soft ground ball past the pitcher to the second baseman, Leha, and he makes the play. 1 down. In the field for the Wolverines, Cole Van Wagoner, Andrew Capone, Patrick Downing in the outfield, Antonio Carta at third, Sean Hannibal at short, Jacob Leha at second, Justin Dolney at first, John Dida on the mound, and Daniel Kerr completes the battery. Back-to-back groundouts to second for the Blue Devils. Now Tyler Childs steps in the plate. Tyler's had a pretty solid offensive season, batting .362, 5 doubles. He's only started in 20 games, but he's done a nice job when he has played in those games. In the conference, he's still batting .294. He's only started in 5 games. Coach regards him as one of the toughest players out there on the field. Here's the first pitch to him. And a grounder to short. Makes the play, 2 down. So a quick 2 outs for the Wolverines and John Dida so far. And now Colin Vandergronden. He grounds one as well. This one to short. Sean Hannibal makes the play, and the nice strong throw over to first to beat Vandergronden by a couple steps. So 3 ground outs, a 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Devils will head to the top of the third. They still hold on to a 1-0 lead. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Top of the third inning. You're at Jimmy John's Field. Chase Kaufman here with you. Glad to be here. Alec Wichikowski trying to pick up back where he left off. 1-1 count to the hitter, Patrick Downing, and the right fielder. That one hits the outer edge, 1-2. Downing had a pretty solid first game. 2 walks, a single. Also scored a couple runs. This one, a blooper out to right field. Sean Fannin running in. Puts it away for the first out of the inning. So Wichikowski making quick work. This second game started about, I don't know, probably 5:10. Now Jacob Leha steps in. He will be playing at second base this game, filling in for John Quintal, who started the last game. John had a sac bunt and reach on an error in the first game, also struck out a couple times. That pitch in for a strike. 1-1 once I changed the graphic. Now it is 2-1 with 1 out. by myself here, doing what I can do. Hopefully doing a good job for you guys. This one driven out to left field, but foul. Way in front of that one. Let's check out Jacob's stats. Jacob batting .241 this season. 13 singles rather, and a double. He's only started in 16 games, so hasn't really gotten much of a shot this season. Only 58 at bats. He's also pitched. He's pitched in 5 games for 5 innings this season, so he can do both sides of the field. Here's a 3-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 4. He lost him. That'll bring up the 9-spot hitter, Cole Van Wagner. We saw Cole a couple times in the last game as a pinch runner, but now he's calling on for the start here. He'll be playing in left field. Throw over to keep Leha close. Jacob, just 1 stolen base on the season. That one in for a called first strike. I also got the chance to talk to Coach pregame, and I asked him about all of his assistant coaches because I knew this just wasn't a one-man show, and he spoke pretty highly of each of them. He said some really nice things about his coaches. That one also comes in for a strike. Talked about Jim Mancuso. He's called him Mr. Everything. Said he gets along with everybody. He's always been a step ahead of everybody, too. As he sees something, or if Coach Eldridge would see something on the field, he said Jimmy would be already talking to him about it. He'd stay one move ahead of him at all times. And then he said Tom Compion, he also coached with him back in the spring. And he's one of those multifaceted coaches, so he can really help out anywhere amongst the diamond, whether it's in the box or out in the field or even on the mound. Then he's got Kevin Whitman and Josh Long, who are really solid helping out the pitchers. As a grounder gets hit to short, Harry Storch fields it and doesn't beat out the runner Cole Van Wagner by about half a step. And Cole, we saw his speed earlier in the day. So now runners on first and second with that slow chopper ground ball to short. Back to the top of the order, Andrew Capone. Andrew singled, but then was forced out into a double play back in the first. So to summarize, Coach Eldridge really appreciates his assistant coaches and what they've done for this team. He knows he couldn't have done all this by himself and how well this program's and how much they've accomplished in these last 3 years, and now on the verge of being one of the favorites come WAC playoff time. Keep forgetting about these graphics. 2-0. Still 1 down. All right, 2-0. Runners on first and second, 1 down. This is inside. 3-0 now. Wachowski starting to lose a little bit of command here. He's looking really solid up until that walk he allowed to Leha. 3-0 in for a strike. Getting back on track here now with 1 out. And Leha, the runner at second. Van Wagner, the runner at first. Wachowski takes his second steps off. Here's a 3-1. This one fouled back to the screen. Now make it full. Wachowski doing a nice job getting back into count here. See what he goes with here. We're at the top of the order, so I assume Capone can catch up to any fastball he wants. Wachowski's power pitches, his fastball gets into the upper 80s. An off-speed pitch at 78 misses high, ball 4. So bases now loaded for the Wolverines with just one out. And Sean Hannibal will step to the plate. Sean grounded into a double play back in the first inning, but he does hit 346, so obviously you're not going to get him to do that every single at-bat. So we'll see what happens here. That one misses inside 2-0. Sean Hannibal at the plate. Sean pretty solid in the first game, 3 singles. That one misses as well. Command really starting to fall for Wachowski. Was really solid through 2 innings. Now he's got 2 walks here in the third, and he's already behind the batter Hannibal with a 3-0 count here. 3-0 in for a strike. And a hit into center field. This is going to drop. 1 run's going to score. The throw comes in. And a nice throw it is to hold the runner, Cole Van Wagner, at third. However, Jacob Lehus comes in to score and makes it a 1-1 game. A nice piece of hitting by Sean Hannibal there on the 3-1 pitch. So bases still loaded now and still just 1 out. Now Daniel Kerr. Daniel, the righty, flew out to center field back in the first, and that pitch just misses, I guess, a little bit high. 1-0. Daniel was hitless in game 1, did reach base a couple times. A walk and a fielder's choice. Fouls that one back, 2-1. Daniel, the best hitter on the team, batting .415 this season. Not a ton of power, but obviously you don't really need power when you're batting .415. That one grounded foul, so now 2-2. So big strike here. If Wachowski can get it, make it 2 outs instead of 1. And you only have to face the cleanup hitter with 2 outs instead of 1. So right now you got their best hitter with the bases loaded, and that is not a good sign. Here's the 2-2. Grounded down the first base line. Fair ball. 1 run will score. That's Van Wagner. 2 runs come in. That's Capone. The ball gets away from Corbett, and a runner will advance to second. So Daniel Kerr, with a 2-run single, advances to second on an error. And the Wolverines now lead this game 3-1. Get a pinch runner for the Wolverines. This number 24, Wayman Lemon Jr. We saw him in game 1. And now a pinch run here. Still with just one out. This one chopped to third. Childs takes a look at third, make sure he's not going home, but shorts the throw from Corbett, and Corbett couldn't clean it up. Now the bases are loaded, still with just one out. Not the start any of these guys wanted to see out here after a really quick 2 innings. DH now, Ryan Beadle. Just a couple batters to go before batting around. Ryan Beadle, Justin Dolney, the last two. And then we're back to the top of the order with Patrick Downing. 1-0 on Beadle. That one fouled back, 1-1. That one misses, 2-1. Hannibal, the runner at third. Kerr, the runner at second. Carta, the runner at first. Scratch that. Lemon Jr., actually the runner at second. Pinch running for the catcher, Daniel Kerr. And Ryan Beadle at the plate. See if Wachowski can get him here at the 2-2. Soft grounder hit to the pitcher. And another unforced error from the Blue Devils. Wachowski made the nice play to throw home. And it looks like Vandergaard just couldn't come up with it. It looks like he was getting ready so early for the transfer that the ball just came out of his glove. And another run comes in for the Wolverines to make it a 4-1 game now. Bases are loaded. So back-to-back errors for the Blue Devils. One and one now to Justin Dolney, the first baseman. Justin flew out to right field in his first at-bat. And hits this one out to right field, and this one's going to get down. Fannin overruns it. This ball's on the warning track now. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score, and a stand-up double for Justin Dolney. And make that 6 runs now in the 3rd inning for the Wolverines, and they have batted around in this 3rd inning. So this is the offense that we've seen all year from the Wolverines, and now they're just starting to piece it together. Last game they had 10 or 11 hits but only scored 4 runs, and now they're putting the ball in play, forcing LTU to make some plays, and they have not made the plays. First pitch, strike 1. Still just 1 out. This one fouled back, 1-2. Downing in his last at bat, which was this inning, flew out to right field. Here's the 1-2, grounded foul. Now changing my scoreboard or scorebook numbers in the innings. That's why they give you an extra one. Actually, I think the extra one's for extra innings, but you can use it either way. 1-2 on Downing. Pitch grounded foul once again, still 1-2, 1 out. Beadle, the runner at third. Dolney, the runner at second. The last 6 guys have come across the plate to score. Started with a walk after a flyout, and this one is down the left field line. Just foul. It's fouled by about probably a foot. It almost gave the Blue Devils another couple runs of trouble. Jacob Leha walked. Van Wagener singled. Capone walked. Hannibal singled. Kerr singled. And then a couple, 2 straight errors. And then Dolney just doubled to right field. And now there's 6 on the board for the Wolverines. 1-2, softly grounded to short. Storch comes up with it. And a very errant throw pulls Corbett off the bag. And I am confused at what's happening here, but they're calling Beadle back to third. The umpire's having a discussion right now. And it looks like that'll be waved off. So Beadle does come around to score. And this has turned into a nightmare of an inning for the Blue Devils. Now down 7-1. Jacob Leha back out for his second plate appearance of the inning. First pitch, a ball. There is work going on in the bullpen. Check swing, strike, 1-1. This is by far one of Wojciechowski's worst starts of the season. And what sucks about it is that he was doing so well through 2. He just seemed to, his command was on, but all of a sudden the Wolverines have really found what he's looking for. Just seems more hittable today than usual. Downing now the runner at second. This one popped up, but it's going to get out of play, back into the seats. Scratch that. Dolney, the runner, at second still. Beadle came in to score. Downing is the runner at first. Jacob Leha at the plate. And grounds this one foul. 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Grounded foul once again. This is the 11th batter of the inning, still just 1 down for the Blue Devils. And after a really solid finish to last game, a solid first 2 innings, all of a sudden 7 runs up on the board for U of M Dearborn. This one misses outside, full count now. 7 runs, 7 hits for the Wolverines. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Blue Devils. This is what happens sometimes, though, when you're facing the best offense in the league. And this is the hard hit ball to left field. This is going to get down. This is going to score at least 1 run. This is going to score 2. And in with his stand-up double is Jacob Leha to make this game 9-1 in favor of the Wolverines. And I can tell you, I don't think anybody saw this one coming. And that is going to be it for Alec Wojciechowski today. Obviously not the start he was looking for, especially this 3rd inning. And that's going to be it for him today. So we'll get a pitching change. We'll be right back here on Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Kyle Walter will now be in the game for the Blue Devils. Kyle appeared in the last game as well. And Cole Van Wagener in the 9 spot is now at the plate. Two and out to Van Wagener. Van Wagener singled in his last at bat earlier this inning. 2-0 in for a strike. Walter threw 2 2/3 last game. That one swung on and missed, 2-2. Gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits and a walk. Also struck 3 out. So pretty solid outing. Blue Devils obviously went on to win that game by virtue of a walk-off single from Jackson Wakowiak. So no matter what happens here, Blue Devils will split today's games with a solid U of M Dearborn team. And with that strikeout now 2 away. Back to the top of the order, Andrew Capone. Andrew walked with a run scored. That one misses outside, 1-0. Graphics froze on me. Oh well, 2 outs. Count as 1-0. Runner on second. That one a grounder to second. Nick Allen there lets it get by him. And another run will come in to score. Cut off by Brian Corbett. And make that 10 runs now this inning. So Capone reaches on a single, and now Sean Hannibal stepped to the plate. Sean also singled his last at-bat, scored a run. Last season, LTU defeated UM-Dearborn 15-12, 11-10, and 11-3 in the 3 games they faced them. They traded 9-run innings in the first game, much like one of these innings here. So who knows what could happen. And then LTU won with a walk-off in the second game, so maybe these 2 games are just reversed. But this ball is hit out to deep left field. This ball is back, and this ball is gone. A home run. A 2-run shot from Sean Hannibal, the shortstop. And the Wolverines now lead this game by a score of 12-1. So this is the offense that we've seen in the rankings so far this season. They are alive now. A 12-run inning. Daniel Kerr, the catcher, now steps to the plate. Disregard the man on second in the graphics. This one popped up, foul ground. And this one will drop. Now 1-1. Twelve runs on 10 hits. LTU 1 run on 2 hits and 2 errors. Graphics now updated. Here's the 2-2. Misses low, 3-2 now. Antonio Carta waiting on deck to see if he'll get another chance to hit this inning. And this one, a hard hit ball out to right field. Another single for the Wolverines. This is just shocking what is happening right now. All of a sudden, after 11 innings of work, these LTU pitchers are all of a sudden just getting clobbered by these Wolverines. I don't know what it is, if they're just all of a sudden now they're putting the bat on the ball after a lot of walks and a pickoff move close, not in time. I can't even explain what's happening because I really don't know why they're all of a sudden absolutely killing the ball. They had a lot of solid hits and singles back in the first game, but all of a sudden they're putting together these singles now in one inning, and they haven't missed. Obviously, they've had some help with a couple errors out in the field by LTU, but this team is just hitting very, very well right now. There's a grounder, hit to second. Storch fields it, and finally ends this nightmare of an inning for the Blue Devils. The Wolverines put up 12 runs, almost bat through the order twice. The Wolverines now will take the field as the Blue Devils trail 12-1. We'll head to the bottom of the third. This is Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Nick Allen shows bunt, pulls it back for a called strike one, and the LTU Blue Devils are going to have to get something going here if they want to take this one. They just allowed 12 runs in the top of the third. I can't even count them up. Just a ton of singles, a home run, a few errors. Not the best inning they've had. Grounder down third base. A nice stop there made by Antonio Carta. Makes the nice throw to get Nick Allen by half a step. Nice play down there by Antonio Carta. Back to the top of the order, Eddie Dobkowski. And John Dida on the mound. I didn't even think about that, but he was sitting for quite a while before throwing this next few pitches. But he's right back on track, 1-1. It's a grounder to third. Carta makes the play again and makes the throw. 2 down. That makes 8 groundouts so far for the Blue Devils. So they're 8 for 8 on groundouts. They do have a couple singles, but they have 2 groundouts to third, 2 to second, 3 to short, and 1 back to the pitcher. That pitch in for a strike to Harry Storch. That pitch also hits the lower part of the zone. Strike 2 on Storch now. Still just shocked at what happened that last inning. Storch, ground ball to third. Double pump from Carta, but makes the play. So all 3 groundouts to Carta that inning. And we'll give him the MVP award for that third inning. Led to the top of the fourth. Blue Devils down 12-1. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. 12-1 here at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Chase Kaufman here with you. Ben Schmidt for the Blue Devils now on the mound, taking over for Kyle Wolter. I have a feeling that we're going to see quite a few pitchers for the Blue Devils this game. Maybe some guys that haven't gotten a lot of work in this season, or maybe a couple freshmen here and there, maybe some guys that have been injured over the season. Top of the fourth inning. 3-0 to Ryan Beadle, the DH. And 4 straight pitches to Beadle from Ben Schmidt. Justin Dolney now at the plate. Justin doubled last inning. So on a line drive into left field, this is going to get down for a single. And Ryan Beadle rather, advances to third, and Justin Dolney will advance to second on the throw. So the Wolverines are picking up right where they left off, and so are the Blue Devils. Another unforced error there to let Dolney advance from first to second on a throw like that. First pitch to Patrick Downing in for a strike. Oh, we got the time. Go back through some WAC conference games. This one fouled back. So Indiana Tech, we know they mercied Cornerstone game 1. I couldn't find an update on game 2. Madonna mercied Lords in both 2 games. So unless Lawrence Tech can somehow find a way to claw back here for a win today, it looks like they'll be locked into one of those 3 through 6 seeds, and they won't be able to host a game. This one is going to be foul into the bullpen. Siena Heights lost to Concordia in game 1, 8-5, and Concordia was ahead last I checked in game 2. And then obviously the Blue Devils defeated U of M Dearborn here in game 1, 6-5. Here's the 0-2, popped up, first base side, and Corbett's there to make the play, 1 down. Second baseman, Jacob Leha, having trouble saying that last name today. Jacob Leha comes in with runners on second and third. Jacob 1 for 1 today with a walk, 2 runs. First pitch from Schmidt misses outside, 1-0. Now 1-1. Check on some MLB scores just for the heck of it. Tampa Bay currently leading Boston 2-0. San Diego, Washington tied at 2-2 through 7. The Yankees continuing their nice win streak. They are leading 6-0 through 8 against San Francisco. Houston on top of Cleveland through 7, 3-1, and Miami, Philly just getting underway. As I mentioned earlier, the Tigers White Sox game postponed for tonight based on the winter weather storm that's supposed to hit Chicago, which is insane. It's late April, it's supposed to be nice. Popped up onto center field, and it'll be the center fielder Eddie Dobkowski to make the play. 2 down. Runners hold. The Blue Jays defeated Oakland earlier today, 7-1. Let's check on how Vladimir did. He went 1 for 4. Doubled in his first major league appearance last night. I can't remember a young guy who's had this much of an impact this early as soon as he hits the field. Like, they acted like he was I know he's a top prospect, but like they acted like he was an NBA prospect about to play in his first game. I've really never seen a more anticipated MLB debut in a long time mid-season over Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It's kind of interesting. I had the opportunity to watch him out in Lansing, actually, a couple years ago, playing for the Lansing Lugnuts, as Cole Van Wagner singles one to center, and they're going to hold the runner at third, but 1 run will score and make this game 13-1. Also got the chance to see Bo Bichetti, who was one of the Florida High School Players of the Year back, I believe, in, I don't know, probably 2014 or so. It was just kind of cool to see them at one of the lowest levels and then work their way up to where they are now. Obviously, Bichetti not in the major leagues just yet, but Vladimir is, and he's obviously already making a big name for himself. And obviously half of that is his name is his father's name, who is obviously a very outstanding player, but he should be someone to watch himself. So keep an eye on him. Top of the order now, Andrew Capone, the center fielder at the plate. (13-1) Wolverines. Here's the 1-1 from Schmidt, fouled back, 1-2. Cody Bellinger leading the MLB in average, batting .433 still. We're almost through April. 13 home runs. Quite the season. But probably a bigger surprise has been Tim Anderson this season. Saw him against the Tigers last night. Did pretty well. He's batting .402 this season. Still 1-2 on the center fielder, Andrew Capone. Andrew has reached base all 3 times this game. Grounds this one foul. Kind of a lot of surprise in the MLB so far. Josh Reddick batting .368. Joey McNeil batting .365. Anthony Rendon, he's been kind of an underrated player all his career. He's batting .356 right now. And then going down the list, Elvis Andrus, Trey Mancini, Austin Meadows, Paul DeYoung. So not a lot of all-star caliber players up there, but they could be this season. Obviously, Bellinger is an all-star, but then looking on down, you really don't see a lot of those guys and think automatic all-star in those top 10. JD Martinez in 11th. Obviously, he's a great player. And looking on down, there's not much else. Christian Yelich, obviously, batting .333 this season. Done really well. He's got 13 home runs, tied for the league lead with Cody Bellinger. Two and two on Capone. 2 down here in the top of the 4th. Blue Devils down 13-1. This one fouled back once again. 2-2. Fouled back once again. Saw one of these at bats. I think it was about 13 pitches with Matt Blunk and Ryan Beadle back early in the first game. This one's about hitting that point as well. Two once again, hit deep out to right field. Fannin going back, looking up, and this ball is gone. A 3-run shot for the Wolverines gives them now a 16-1 lead here in the 4th inning. So Andrew Capone now reached base 4 times this game, and this is turning into an ugly scene here at Jimmy John's Field. Don't think there's any coming back from this one now. Ten-run mercy rule is in effect after 7 innings. So the Blue Devils got to fight to at least get back to that point. They got to score 6 runs just to be able to finish this game out. This one grounded to short. Storch stops it. Strong throw over, gets him by a step. Nice play by Storch at the end of the inning. Wolverines continue their dominance. Score 4 in the 4th. Blue Devils down 16-1. We'll be right back on the Lawrence, Texas Sports Network. Sean Fannin will lead off the Blue Devils as they try to claw back and at least try to make this game not end in a mercy. Down 16-1 right now in the bottom of the 4th. Fannin swings and misses at a 2-0 pitch there. Fannin chops one to third. Third baseman Antonio Carta there to make the play and somehow gets Fannin by half a step, 1 down. And that is another ground out to Carta. That is 4 in a row. And that makes 10 ground outs out of 10 outs for the Blue Devils. Brian Corbett steps in. See if he can do something here. That one misses high, 2-0. Might as well check on the NFL draft. See what's going on there. 2-1. That pitch hits the outside corner. 3-2 now. Full count on Corbett. Corbett grounds that one foul. This one, another ground ball hit to the second baseman. And Jacob Leha makes the play, 2 down. 11-4-11 on groundouts for the Blue Devils. This is, I don't have any records on me, but the first 11 outs now are groundouts. That's got to be a record. No strikeouts. So obviously it's not like they're not putting the ball in play, but they're not doing anything with it. I haven't seen, all of them have pretty much been fundamental ground balls, routine. None of them have really been any spectacular plays out there, but this team doing their job out there in the field. 1-1 now. And it looks like we've got a pinch hitter in for the Blue Devils. This is number 5, Luke Bushy. 1-2 on him now. That one just misses. A few of them walking off the field after that one. 2-2 now. That one looked like it hit the outside strikes, the outside corner of the strike zone to me. That one gets away from the catcher. 3-2 now. This one, a ground ball hit to short. And Sean Hannibal puts it away for the 12th straight ground out from the Blue Devils. 12 ground outs, 2 singles. This is, I don't think amazing is the word, but crazy would probably be a better word. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Blue Devils down 16-1. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Daniel Kerr will lead off for the Wolverines, and on the mound now for the Blue Devils is number 11, Simon Lidwell. Pardon, it's actually 44, Simon Lidwell. Max Mooring now in at catcher for Colin Vandergrun. Luke Bush will be in left field, and Luke Morissette will be at short for Harry Storch. So the Blue Devils essentially, I don't want to say giving up, but putting in their bench players, giving them a few innings of work, letting the other guys rest up for tomorrow's games. 2-1 now to Daniel Kerr. Simon, just one inning pitch this season, gave up a run. And Simon, I believe, is coming off an injury from last season. And he hasn't really done much yet this season. It was a knee injury, and it's gone as quick as it could possibly go, but it was a painful one from last season. And he threw out an inning against Saginaw Valley a couple weeks ago on a Wednesday. Coach said he did pretty well. And we'll see how he performs here. Obviously, pretty good situation to put him in. Daniel Kerr walks, pinch runs. Top of the fifth inning. Runner off. Ball gets past Mooring. 2-0. Now taking a look back at the NFL draft. I'm a Lions fan, unfortunately, and they took TJ Hawkinson the first round. And I wasn't upset by the pick. If there was a word that I had to describe the pick as, I would probably say scary. Just because, obviously, we drafted Dearborn. He didn't perform very well, and then he went to Indy and performed well. But Hawkinson is more of a run blocker, pass blocker. They signed Jesse James, and if they're kind of going the Patriot way, this is essentially what they did. They had Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski at the time, and it worked out for them. And with Matt Patricia now leading the way, I guess that's kind of what his mindset's at. This is what he wanted to do. And this just kind of goes with his flow. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick. I wanted Ed Oliver at the time just because he was there. And if you watched what he's done all season, he just seems like he could be a very good NFL player. But it is what it is. I'm not mad about the pick. I think he's going to be a pretty solid player. This is a new coach, new system, so we'll see what happens. Give Hawkinson a chance. I don't think it was an awful pick. I know I heard a lot of people say they probably could have just waited, maybe traded down a few spots to get him, but if that's the guy you truly want, then I think that's definitely where you pick him at. You don't take that risk and trade down just for a third or a fourth rounder and possibly lose the guy you want. Antonio Carta pinch hits, and that was number 31, Alex Braid, who walked there. But on the second rounder, I heard they took a linebacker out of Hawaii who was projected to go in the 5th and 6th round. And again, the same thing. If you really want the guy, yeah, go ahead and get him. But then it comes to a point where the value, I feel like, you probably could have traded down to the bottom of that second round, and you probably would have been safe without anybody taking him. And you could have gotten a third, maybe a fourth round pick out of it. But then again, if you think someone's going to take him after, go ahead and grab that guy. So I don't want to bag on the front office or anything. Just got to give it some time. As a ball hit out to left field, this one's going to get down. Probably going to be extra bases. One run is going to score. Throw into third is offline, so a stand-up double for Ryan Beadle. To make this score 17-1, Daniel Kerr walked to start the inning. Pinch runner came in to score. That was Lemon Jr. That one fouled back. Justin Dolney at the plate. But I do like the positions the Lions took. They got a tight end, and they got a linebacker, and they got a safety. So pretty solid pickups. Especially after the Lions lost Nevin Lawson in the offseason. Will Harris was picked in the 3rd round. We'll see how that goes. So you never know. I don't judge until a few years after. At the time, it's easy to say, oh, that's a terrible pick, but you just never know. I looked at the past 5 years, and if you look at the guys that are taken in the 1st round the past 5 years, you see a lot of guys that you feel you don't even remember their names. I mean, I'll look at 2017, 2016, 15, all the way back to 2012, and I could probably tell you that, man, probably a third of the guys taken in the 1st round are still starters in the NFL, if that. So who knows? Ed Oliver might play 2 years and then leave the league. I mean, the same thing could be said for Hawkinson, but the same thing could be said for any of the guys taken in the 1st round. That pitch misses 3-2. So it's all just a matter of time. Think about it. If Pat Mahomes, if you guys would have known what he was going to do this year, he would have been taken number 1 overall, obviously, last season. But nobody knew, so he was taken 10th. So do you bag on the 9 teams that passed on him? No, because that's just what their value was in the first place. Pat Mahomes wasn't supposed to do what he did last season. But that's just what happens. Never know until later on. I mean, obviously, looking at Tom Brady, what he did, drafted 199th overall. I'm sure any team would have taken him number 1 overall, but at the time, that's just not where his value was. So a guy taken 1st overall this season. And Simon Lidwell went to pick off the guy at 2nd, nobody there. Threw it into the dirt. Not called a balk. So a guy taken 17th overall should have been the number 1 pick. Or the guy taken number 1 overall could have been not even drafted. You just can't really tell right now. It's fun to watch and fun to think about some guys that might do well, might not do well, but you just never know until you got to give them 5-10 years sometimes. But then, yeah, you can make fun of the Giants if you want. I mean, Daniel Jones, who knows? He might be a really solid player, but then you got to look at the Giants probably could have gotten a couple picks out of that. They probably could have traded down and still taken Daniel Jones at 17. But then, playing devil's advocate, if that's the guy you wanted and you think somebody else is going to pick him after, go and get him. It's just tough to say the day of, or even a couple days later, or even a year later. Just never know. Anyways, 3-2 popped up sky high, 3rd base side, foul ground. And that's the shortstop, Luke Morissette, to put it away. Hope you guys are enjoying my NFL draft banter. Not much to talk about right now. Patrick Downey now at the plate. First pitch in for a strike from Lidwell. 17-1 game here at Jimmy John's Field. Chase Kaufman here with you, talking about the NFL draft, and still got 32 people watching. So appreciate you guys listening still, unless your volume's down, which in that case I'm totally okay with. Understandable. But I'm having fun. I love doing. Started podcasts this last semester with a couple of guys at LTU. We talk about NFL, NBA. It's called Overtime. It's on SoundCloud if you want to listen to. Ball driven down the right field line. This ball is just foul. Couple feet foul. Talk about the NFL. We made some picks over the years, or over the season. Talked about the NBA a little bit. Did a fun Masters podcast. It's a good listen. Go and search up Overtime on SoundCloud if you want to give one a listen. I'd appreciate it. Runners on second and third, 1 and 2 to Justin Dolney. And the delivery misses outside, 2 and 2. That one fouled back. See if I can find the Indiana Tech Cornerstone final score. I know Indiana Tech won the first game. And the second game was actually suspended after 7, and the game is tied at 4-4. So interesting there. So Madonna still with a chance to take the WAC conference. If Indiana Tech happens to drop that game, then Madonna could possibly take the conference. This ball driven out to right field. Foul again. 3 and 2. Team that I really liked what they did in the draft was Jacksonville. Jacksonville got Josh Allen at number 7. I think Josh Allen's one of the best players in the draft. I think he's probably around that same area of Quinnen Williams. This ball grounded to short, more set. Can't field it cleanly. Another run will score, make it 18-1. And Jacksonville, in the mock drafts, they were projected to take Jawan Taylor out of Florida, an offensive lineman. They took Josh Allen, which was a solid pick. I would definitely take that in that position as well. They took the best player available. And then later, the next day, they got Jawan Taylor in the second round, which is very impressive considering he was mocked to take at number 7, and they got him at number 30, 35, 36, whatever it was. So props to Jacksonville for those first couple rounds. I think they got 2 really solid players there. Definitely got their value's worth on both picks. Still 1 out here in the 5th inning. Nice breaking ball there from Lidwell at 68. 0-1. Runners on first and second. 1 away. And a throw down to third. And nobody was there. The runner from second moved to third, and this is just beginning to be ugly for the Blue Devils right now. This one driven out to center field, and this one will drop. Another run scored for the Wolverines, make this game 19-1. Runners on first and third now. Breaking ball misses 2-0. Two out of Van Wagoner. Grounded to short. Morissette can't clean it. Another run. I don't even know my scorecard anymore. Scorecard is all kinds of messed up, so I'm going to put that away. 20-1. Top of the order, Andrew Capone at the plate. Check swing. Yes, he did. 0-2 now on Capone. Runners on first and second. One out. Not bases loaded, as the graphic says. 0-2. This one fouled back. So it looks like the Blue Devils most likely going to finish third in the conference. Can't let this one game fool how well they've done all season long. It's just, I don't know, Dearborn is hitting lights out right now. 0-2, got him looking, strike three. And if things stay how they're looking, Lawrence Tech would be in a group with Madonna and whoever grabs that 6th seed, which right now it's looking like it's going to be close because if Cornerstone, right now they have the Indiana Tech Cornerstone game in as a tie, and Cornerstone will be done for the season at 11-10-1, but I don't think they allow games to end in a tie. I looked at the rules yesterday, but right now they have it as a tie, so we'll see where that goes. U of M Dearborn is going to win today. They're going to move to 10-10. Siena Heights is one back from them at 9-11. So Concordia just defeated Siena Heights. So they've got a chance, Dearborn. If Dearborn can take both tomorrow, they play, I think it's Rochester. Don't see it right now, but I'll take a look. Sean Hannibal at the plate, 1-2. One popped up to the shortstop, Luke Morissette. And Cam Sunder at 4, the final out of the inning. Blue Devils got a lot of work to do. Head to the bottom of the 5th. This is Lawrence, Texas Sports Network. First pitch popped up, foul ground. And third baseman overran it. Can't get to it. So as I was saying, U of M Dearborn will take on Rochester in a couple games tomorrow. They'll move to 10-10 after today. Cornerstone currently sits at 11-10-1, but that suspension of game 22 for them is going to be interesting because in the rules it said there are no ties, but right now they put it in as a tie. I don't know if they meant to do that or not, but we'll find out. And then that's going to make a big difference between 12-10, 11-10-1, or 11-11. Because if Dearborn can take both wins tomorrow, then they'll pass Cornerstone for that 6th spot. Lambert grounds out, and that is 13 in a row. Very impressive. So the Blue Devils will have either Cornerstone or Dearborn as that 6th team in their pod. Now batting is number 29, Logan Barker. Three no. Yes, that is not a typo. 20-1, Dearborn. So Logan Barker walks on 4 straight pitches, first base runner since the first inning, and stops the streak of 10 straight groundouts in 10 straight at-bats. It's so interesting. I mean, not even a strikeout, really. It's not like they're not hitting the ball. They just haven't really gotten into the air much. Max Mooring now at the plate. Looks a first pitch strike. Two and one. Three and one now to Mooring. Logan Barker, the runner at first. And he lost him back-to-back walks now. John Dida has been waiting for quite a while in between innings, so that might have killed his command just a little bit. Goes from warm to cold very quickly. Nick Allen at the plate. It's a deep fly ball to left center field. This one's going back. But the center fielder makes the catch. That's Andrew Capone. A nice play out there. Able to run it down, but a nice hard hit ball from Nick Allen there. Barker, a nice job of tagging up from second. Ball hit to the third baseman. A nice stop and a nice throw. What a play by the third baseman, Antonio Carta. That was by far one of the most impressive plays I've seen this season. I believe it was Antonio at least. Not sure if they switched him out or not, but nonetheless, a nice play by that Dearborn third baseman right there. That was probably one of the top plays I've seen all season. We'll head to the top of the sixth. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Back here at Jimmy John's Field, top of the sixth inning. Blue Devils down 20-1 as the Wolverines get set to bat once again. David Klug now on for the Blue Devils. Hard throwing sidearm pitcher. Sean Marshall now in center field. Second pitch sails way outside, 2-0. Another team in the draft that I thought did pretty solid was Washington. They got Haskins at 15, and then they got Montez Sweat late at 26, which it's an interesting couple picks because I feel like they probably have the highest ceiling and the lowest floor out of everybody. So it's interesting because those two players at 15 and 26 are probably pretty solid pickups, but they can be busts just as well as they could be Pro Bowl players in the next few years. So those will be two interesting ones to look at. 2-1. This one drilled foul. That one is over the road. Full count. On the batter, Daniel Kerr misses outside. Alex Braid now at the plate. Want to know in for a strike. 1-1. That pickoff gets away, and he'll take a free base. That ball goes into the dugout. That one's in for a strike, 1-2. Jimmy John's Field, home of the United Shore Professional Baseball League. Pretty cool stadium. Got 4 teams that play here. USPBL.org. Go and look that up. Get some tickets. They're pretty cheap. Ball head out to the right field. And Nick Allen's there to put it away. 1 down. Pretty cheap tickets for some good entertainment. David Klug with a 4.5 ERA. 0-1 on the season, just 3 games pitched in 2 innings. Hasn't gotten a ton of work in. That's in conference play at least. 2.35 ERA in 12 games pitched overall. Ryan Beadle swings through one and misses there. Next pitch also in for a strike, 0-2. I assume Sam Brace and Jay Gallant will get the call tomorrow against UNOH. Oh, 2 delivery misses. 1-2. Sam has a 5.11 ERA, but it's been pretty dominant in a couple starts this season through an 8-inning no-hitter earlier this season. And then Jay Gallant's got a 4.33 ERA. This one a grounder to the first baseman. And Corbett's there for the second out of the inning. Runner advances from second to third. Now 2 outs. Side armors, first pitch misses inside. Number 6, Justin Dolney. Next pitch misses outside, 2-0 now. Andrew Capone, 3 for 4. Sean Hannibal, 2 for 5. Daniel Kerr, 2 for 3. Alex Braid, 0 for 1. Ryan Beadle, 2 for 4. Justin Dolney, 2 for 4. Patrick Downing, 1 for 4. Jacob Leha, 2 for 3. And Cole Van Wagoner, 3 for 4. So everybody joining the hit parade except for Alex, who just got his first at-bat of the game. On the opposite side, the Blue Devils have struggled to pick up really any hits at all today. And And they got him looking. Strike three. Out of the bottom of the sixth, Blue Devils down 20-1. This is Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Luke Morsetti will lead off for the Blue Devils. New pitcher on the mound is Justin Marshall. Justin, not much work so far this season. 19.89 ERA, 4 games pitched, and just a little over 6 innings of work. 2-0 early on Luke. Luke drills one out to center field, but is playable, and Capone is there for the first out of the inning. Adam Mansfield will step in here. Adam doesn't have a ton of at-bats this season. Just 4 overall. He's 2 for 4, though, so we'll see what he can do here. Watches the first pitch. A little bit outside. Ball 1. Check out the men's lacrosse. They're taking on Indiana Tech in the WAC championship. And looks as if Indiana Tech won that one 10-6. So LTU runners up in both men's and women's lacrosse WAC championships, and Indiana Tech took the WAC championship in both men's and women's lacrosse. Adam Mansfield reaches on 5 pitches. Andrew Nepchuk now at the plate, getting a little bit of work. He's 5 for 4, or 5 for 9 rather, this season. One and one. Sun really starting to set here now. Lights are on. 7:30. 2-2 now. Ball inside. Full count now to Nepchuk. Nepchuk hits one out to left center field. This one's going back. The center fielder Capone is there to make the play. 2 away. Nice piece of hitting though. Luke Bushy now steps in. Luke out of Frankenmuth, Michigan. Takes a look at strike one. Now takes a look at strike two. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Should only have one more inning to go based on the 10-run mercy, unless LTU can find some way to score 9 in these next couple innings. And by the way they've hit this game, it doesn't look like they're going to do that. Just can't seem to get much going here in the second game. Even the first game, they struggled really offensively, other than getting on by some walks and hit by pitches. Didn't really do much. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. LTU down 20-1. We'll head to the top of the 7th. This is the Lawrence, Texas Sports Network. Harvey Freed will now be pitching for the Blue Devils. And Tanner Hodges is now at the plate for the Wolverines. Harvey misses the first two pitches. 2-0. Harvey out of Milford, Michigan, went to Milford High School. Freed with a 6.23 ERA. Harvey Freed, 6 games pitched, just 8 innings. That one misses. 3-0. He's got 5 strikeouts, just 1 walk on the season. Puts behind in a 3-0 count here, though. Make that 4-0. He walked him. 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning. One and two on Jacob Leha. Grounds one down third baseline, foul. That pitch just misses 2-2. Grounder to third. Fair ball. Throw not going to be in time. Jacob Leha hustles it out. Runners on first and second now. $18 hits now for the Wolverines and 4 errors on the Blue Devils. Cole Van Wagoner, the 9 spot, now steps up to the plate. One and one. $12 in the third, 4 in the fifth, 4 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth for the Wolverines, and then 1 Lonely run in the first for the Blue Devils. Swing and a miss. One down. Robert Begley now pinch hitting with runners on first and second. First pitch misses inside. That pitch hits 1-1. That pitch just missed high, 3-1. Bases loaded now. One out. This is Sean Hannibal now at the plate with the bases loaded. 0-1 count, one down. Harvey Freed on the mound for the Blue Devils. That one's in not for a strike, I guess. A little high. 1-1. One hits for a strike, 1-2 now. Here's the 1-2. Just misses outside, 2-2. Two and two. Got him looking. Strike three. Two down now. Lemon Jr. now, after pinch hitting for Daniel Kerr. Takes a first pitch strike. Next pitch misses outside, 1-1. This one shot right back up the middle. This will score at least one. They'll hold the runner at third. So respectfully holding him at third. Makes it a 21-1 game. Alex Braid now at the plate trying to join the hit parade. Two and one shot back up the middle. Second baseman there just gets the play done over at second. Well, at the bottom of the seventh, LTU down 21-1. This is Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Luke Lambert to lead us off here in the bottom of the 7th. LTU going to need 11 runs to keep on playing here. This one grounded into right field for a single. Nice piece of hitting there from Luke. One of the heroes last game, kept the game going. Put runners on first and third. He was able to advance the second, and then Jackson Walkowiak able to finish, or Eddie Dobkowski rather, able to finish it off. Or Walkowiak, rather, sorry. Logan Barker at the plate. Or maybe it was Dobkowski. I already can't remember. This game's too long. That one just misses. 2-0. Swing and a miss from Barker there. 2-1. Barker pops one up, third base side, and one away. That pitch in there at 58 miles an hour. Heater breaking ball in for a strike. Ball gets away from the catcher. Lambert advances all the way to second. One and one. That 58-mile-an-hour breaking pitch misses just inside. 2-1. This one grounded to third. Nice stop there by the third baseman. Throw over. Pulls the first baseman off the bag, able to tag Max Mooring out for the second out of the inning. That'll leave it up to number 31, Nick Allen. Two 2-0 on Allen. That one hits the strike zone. 2-1. This one driven out to the left center field gap. This one's going to get down. This one's going to score a run. Lambert rounding third. He's going to score, and Nick Allen will have himself a stand-up RBI double. Sean Marshall now at the plate. Sean batting .243 this season, 9 games started. Strike zone getting pretty tight. Taking a look at the Lawrence Tech and opponents scoring by innings as Marshall gets on with 4 pitches there. The best differential between LTU's runs scored and their opponent's runs scored in an inning was ironically the 3rd inning. LTU was outscoring their opponents 46-23 that inning. The biggest margin out of every inning. That fly ball hit out to left field, and a nice play made out there in the left field to wrap things up here at Jimmy John's Field. So LTU takes game 1 by virtue of a walk-off single to right, but LTU could find nothing going here for them in game 2. U of M Dearborn takes the game 21-2. And they keep their playoff hopes alive as they try and grab that 6th seed. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Chase Kaufman here with you. Hope you guys have a tremendous rest of your weekend. And the Blue Devils will try to pick things up against UNOH tomorrow. Have a great weekend.